I made a massive mistake the other day when I came to this station. I bought a ticket for the train, even though I've had loads of comments now telling me that when you buy a ticket for a football match in Germany, all of your train travel, or I guess public transport travel, is included within your match day ticket price that you pay. Absolutely amazing. Why don't we do that in Britain? Why don't we do that a little bit more in the UK? But yeah, I didn't realise that, so I ended up spending like €7–8 on a return ticket, which I didn't even need to do. No one even checked it anyway. But I've had to buy one today because there's no game on, but we are heading back to the Volksparkstadion to investigate the amazing history of HSV, HSV. The biggest team in Hamburg here in terms of what they've won. They are one of the most successful teams in Germany. I'll show you the amount of trophies that they've won right now. Is this my train? I don't know, it may be. No, it's not stopping it. I'll show you the sort of trophies that they've won compared to the other teams in Germany. And the one thing that stands out is look at the teams that are above them. There's a few teams that are above them there in terms of the actual trophies won, but those teams have never been champions. Those teams have never won the European Cup. They may have won like more just smaller competitions, I guess you could say, so they have more numbers, but Hamburg have the big ones. They have been champions of Germany on numerous occasions. They've won the German Cup, they have won the European Cup, they've won the Cup Winners' Cup, and they've even won everybody's favourite European competition, the Intertoto Cup. Germany obviously has some incredible teams, and yeah, Bayern Munich are way ahead of everybody in terms of trophies won. They've got like over 80 trophies, and I think the next team is Dortmund with around 20 or so, but I'd have just shown you on screen then. So yeah, it really is amazing how dominant Bayern have been down the years, and amazing that I've never made a video about them either. This is sadly my last German video for a while. I'm leaving to go back to the UK today. I have my suitcase with me for a stadium tour. I hope there's somewhere I can put it in the Volksparkstadion. I was really impressed by the atmosphere the other day. They seem like an amazing club to HSV. But yeah, I will have to come back to Germany very, very soon. I've loved it. I've made many videos here now. I've been to Cologne, been to Dusseldorf, been to Dortmund, and now Hamburg. I'm going to have to tick off loads more towns and cities around the country soon. Here's the station, Stellingen. This is where I came off the other day, and you can see what kind of team is here. Obviously there's no St. Pauli stickers around here, but as we are near to HSV, look, we have all of the HSV stickers. The Castaway Ultras, really impressed by their support the other day. When I came down here the other day, it was rammed, absolutely rammed. This place was playing so much music, and there was hundreds of people in here all drinking, but look, you can actually see the scarves and the stickers of Hamburg on here. It's a short walk from the station to the stadium, which is here, but it's made even longer when you've got a backpack full of like kind of heavy gear, and then a suitcase and a big winter jacket. I've just had to take it off for a minute while I tell you about the link between HSV and Rangers. Obviously I have a lot of Rangers fans who follow me, so we'll be going into why there is a little bit of a connection between Hamburg and Rangers just now. So they obviously play in very similar colours, the blue and the white, and a bit of black as well on HSV. I guess a bit of red on Rangers and red on HSV as well actually, so they got that connection. But also the songs that they sing, I'm not sure who started some of the tunes and some of the songs, but you can interchange the word Hamburg with Rangers with a few of them. I saw that at the game. Maybe you've watched that video, and maybe you'll have recognised some of the chants as well. If you're a Rangers fan, you'd have recognised the tunes and the fact that they sing them here and also at Ibrox too. The link goes back though officially to about 1977. The Hamburg Rangers Supporters Club was set up by Hamburg fans who had been over to Ibrox and had been so impressed by the atmosphere in Glasgow. Rangers signed the Hammer, Jörg Alberts, from Hamburg, and that strengthened the link between the two clubs even more. I know he's a bit of a cult hero at Ibrox from what I hear. The Hammer, he's known as for the way he would kick the ball so hard, for free kicks I think, maybe penalties as well, but yeah, he was obviously loved at Rangers and he was a Hamburg man. So you've got the colours, you've got the fan groups that are fairly similar, they sing the same songs, and you got the cult hero that is Alberts as well, which is why Rangers and this club have such a big connection. Amazing to meet you. Firstly, could you just introduce yourself for everyone watching?
Yeah, of course. So my name's Roy. I run the English channels for everything at HSV, so anything that's English related for HSV goes through me basically. So yeah, been here at the club for a year and a half, and it's been great.
Amazing. And I obviously have a lot of Scottish viewers, and they'll be interested to hear your background and your story. So how did you come to start working here in Hamburg?
bit of a crazy long story, but just to kind of summarise it, I also do a bit of a podcast. I've always loved German football, and I did a podcast for German football in English, and I met a couple of really good people on that. And one of my best mates had the job before me, and he knew I was looking for something similar because I did I worked in a couple of Premiership clubs in Scotland as well, and he said, look, they're looking for someone, are you interested? And it just kind of happened through that. It was great. It was nice and easy. So
you're obviously a German speaker as well,
yeah,
which helps.
Yeah.
And so, what's the name of the podcast for everyone watching?
The German Football Podcast.
Okay, amazing.
So yeah, we do a bit of everything about German football, from the Bundesliga all the way down to the lower leagues. We do a lot of ground hopping and talk about our ground hopping experiences from the lower league, mostly lower league clubs, because we find that most interesting about the actual fans in Germany. That you can find there. It's amazing. Amazing.
And so, could you just explain the big foot behind us, and then obviously like there's the smaller ones as well just around it?
Yeah, of course. So this is HSV. Uwe Seeler. I don't think he's as well known outside of Germany as he should be, but he's generally one of the best players that Germany have ever had. In Hamburg, he is Hamburg. If you ask anyone about HSV, Hamburg, Uwe Seeler is probably the first name that'll come to anyone's lips. He is HSV. He unfortunately died last year, but this is a statue of his foot. He scored the most goals for HSV, one of the most appearances for HSV as well, and I've said it so many times, but he is HSV.
Okay, he's the biggest club legend here, and
he had a couple of really good interviews that he said, I don't understand why I'm a normal person. He was so down to earth. He was a HSV fan as well. He was everything that HSV means comes from Uwe Seeler, and that's why they made this statue. And unfortunately died last year, but there was a big celebration with the fans, and they had a great tifo and choreo for the Uwe Seeler last year as well against Rostock. And yeah, Uwe Seeler for HSV is HSV.
He is the man. And so HSV have obviously won so many competitions. They've won the European Cup, the Bundesliga many times as well. They're a massive club. Why should people come and visit this team if they'd like to come watch football in Germany?
As with every team, it's the fans. You want to experience what the fans are like over here, because for German clubs, the fans are the heartbeat of the club every time, and that's no different for HSV. HSV, okay, they're in the Zweite Liga, they've been there for 5 years, but as you saw at the weekend, 56,000, almost 57,000, and it's not even that, it's just because it's a big stadium, but that's 5 years in the Zweite Liga now, and you think after a while fans could start not walking away, but not having the same appetite to go watch their team play in the second division. As you said, it's a club that's won Champions League, they've won the Bundesliga so many times, they're founding member of the Bundesliga when that formed in 1963. It's hard to not say how good a club they are, but
they're massive, honestly, and I saw it at the weekend.
You saw it at the weekend. It's generally one of the best fan experiences when you come here as well. It's great, you know.
So that's 1887 when they were formed.
That's when they were formed, and that's the first team. So it's SC Germania. That was the first team, and then they also moved in with Hamburg FC, and that's how it became Hamburg.
Oh, so they merged. Oh, okay, cool, yeah.
So they're a merger. But a lot of people will say, because obviously a lot of clubs that merge, they obviously use the first date that they can.
Yes, of course, yeah. Hartlepool United. What does that say? International Fußball Matchspiel?
Something that was a really old German, but I'm assuming it'll just be a friendly.
1888, does that say? Well, that says 1909.
It's 30th of March 1909.
Are these like the ultras?
They're called Kutas.
Kutas, okay.
Kutas is the name of them, and they collect badges, and it's like friendships and stuff like that. So they'll go to like you see there's a Dortmund one in there and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So they'll have collected one from Dortmund. There's one that says no Bremen, you know.
Whereabouts is Bayern there as well, right?
Yeah, Bayern as well.
Where's the no Bremen?
On the left hand side, that's good.
Yeah. You know? So that's the big sort of traditional rival.
Yeah, the North Derby, or the North Derby they call it.
So Uwe Seeler, that's whose big foot we saw, but this is like the all-time best ever team, you'd say?
I think it was voted in like 2004, this team.
Yeah.
So there's no one after that, obviously. But
that's like the all-time legends.
Mike Howells, Kevin Keegan, Felix Magath as well. You know, the guy who used to manage Fulham. He was legend here, and he was also at Hertha Berlin last year. Ulrich Stein in goals. Thomas van Hessen.
Nice.
Hosklubish. He's called like the heading monster.
Oh, really?
The man of headers.
Big guy.
He still works at the club today. They're there to as a memory for like people that were deported during the war that were Jewish.
Right. Okay.
So
Wow. Yeah.
this is like to do with like anything to do with Hasval and Jewish members.
Wow.
So like you'll see them, you'll not see them now. You look in the street, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
And it said people when they were deported, when they died. And stuff
Oh,
like
look
that.
out for them. Yeah. Yeah.
Like if they lived in this
It
place.
says here deportiert,
Yeah.
which deported. No?
It's like if you spoke about Hans Happel, you speak about the 80s, you speak about the titles, the Pokalsliga,
Yep.
the Cup win, the German Meister, the Europa Cup, Cup Winners' Cup and stuff like that.
And so Beckenbauer played here as well.
Yeah. So I think it was after he was in the USA, came back
Yeah.
in the 80s.
New York Cosmos.
Yeah, exactly.
That old kit as well. How much do you reckon that'd be worth on classic football shows?
more than anyone has.
Right, here we go.
Yeah, this is the.
It's the football trophies. So we've got the
It's actually a
Bundesliga titles there. Yeah. It's interesting how it's like a shield, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's obviously changed over the years as well. Because it gets bigger, the more people want it.
Oh, really? Oh,
So,
what? Because they've got to
that's
engrave
the
the names on
one,
it.
obviously, because it's smaller, and then as it gets.
And then we got that's the German Cup there, the Pokal. It's quite an interesting looking cup. And then we got the two big ones here. So the European Cup Winners' Cup and the European Cup. So that's the first time they were champions in 23.
First official German champion.
That was before it was the Bundesliga.
Yeah, they made it to the final. So what they used to do in Germany was they would have like a final
Yep.
after the leagues to
Okay.
kind of settle who would win the league. So they got to the final the year before they were the actual first time.
Yep. And so they won it in 23, and then we move round, and it's 28 was the second time. And then 1960 as well.
Against Cologne. That would have been the first time they won the cup, I think.
So Dutch Pokalsieger, 63.
Yeah.
And then would it have changed then? DFB Pokalsieger.
No, so, so then so that one then 1976. This
Yeah.
is DFB Pokal. So
Okay.
that's just when the DFB.
Yep.
Came out.
Look at that old kit as well. That's got Keegan vibes about it. Maybe that has as well. Yeah, there it is, bottom right.
Bottom right.
And they were champions in 79.
Yeah, so that's when Keegan won nothing. So, programme.
Yep, there he is.
6 Deutsche Mark that cost.
And then this is champions again, 79.
So
Or is that the same as that? Yep, that's the same as that. And if we move round,
I've never been in here, though.
interesting, isn't it?
1982.
82 and 83, so they won it back to back. Is that right? Yeah,
Yeah,
two years in a row.
So Beckenbauer would have been in that team.
Beckenbauer was in there too.
the
Oh yeah, so he is. Yeah, handing over a pennant.
Caltz. He was
Look
a
at that
really
shot.
well-known player.
This has got to be signed by Beckenbauer as well then.
Potentially.
And
And
then
Tapper was the trainer there. On the left-hand side.
yes, yeah, there he is again. Yeah, there's Beckenbauer's name. Look, he's up the top. One in from the right-hand side. So these are the European triumphs. So yeah, 77 was the der Pokalsieger, which is the Cup Winners' Cup. And so they would have played Atletico on the way to the final, I take it, and then it was Anderlecht in the final. They played Forest in Europe.
That was the final.
That was the
That's
final.
when-
Oh, they
that's
lost
when-
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
final. Yes, yeah, of course.
That's one of the years Forest did on it.
That was in Madrid, the Bernabeu. Yes, Forest won it twice in a row.
Keegan played in that final.
Keegan played in that final and lost against Forest. And then if we move round, here's Aberdeen.
Yeah. A lot of Aberdeen fans will talk about that, actually.
And here's the main one then. So this is when they won the European Cup in 83,
Juventus.
beating Juventus in the final.
European rival. They had a really good game in the 2000 season as well.
Against
Yeah,
Juventus.
it was like 4 each.
And is that the kit that they wore then? This would be the team that won it. So this is who they would have played leading up to it, you say? No, I played Dynamo Kiev.
I was in Athens, the final. So this showed you the way to Athens. And they played Olympiacos as well. And that, so it was obviously the finals in Greece and they ended up. But Real Sociedad, Dynamo Kiev, Olympiacos.
But European Cup aside, Cup Winners' Cup aside, it's all about these two, right? The Intertoto Cup. I saw these in Braga have won it as well. I did the tour at Braga, and I was like, where's the trophy for it? This is the trophy. The little plaque is the trophy. What a nice guy Roy was, St. Mirren fan working for HSV Hamburg here in Germany. I bet there's not many St. Mirren fans in the whole country, let alone in this city, but yeah, it's annoying having to lug all my stuff around today. I'm flying tonight back to Edinburgh at about 9:30. It's currently about 2 o'clock. We were just chatting there off camera for like probably a good few hours in between the bits I'd have shown you on film. Really good just to chat about German football, Scottish football, and just hear a Scottish voice in Germany. Very weird, but yeah, cool as well. He runs the HSV English Twitter account, so yeah, I'll show it on screen. Go give them a follow, they're a cool club. He posts some cool stuff on there, so yeah, I might include a link to it in the description box too, so do go and check them out. I'm going to head to the city and have some very traditional Hamburg food, a bit of a delicacy here in Hamburg that Roy just recommended to me. So back to the station again, doing this walk again. Now this is the 4th time I've done it. Once here for the game, once back for the game, once here for the tour, now back for the tour. Despite this being my last day here in Germany, it's actually my first time actually coming down like one of the main little tourist parts here, down by the harbour. Here it is. It's just like a bit of fish in a roll. It's nice. Looking at people walking up here, I thought it'd be hot, but it's cold and they just serve it to you like this. The seagulls about, so we got to watch it, but yeah, would recommend. Look at this, even in the airport they have St. Pauli merch. Can't see any HSV stuff, but look at this. Airports are pretty expensive, aren't they? If you want food or a beer or a coffee or something, but I'm gonna do something today that I've never done before. I paid 33 euros and I'm in a lounge. Let's look around. Here we go, I've loaded up Premiere Pro to do some editing within the lounge. Got myself a couple of cakes and a coffee for now. I'm going to go up and try and get my 33 euros worth as it goes on, but I'm not really a lounge guy, so I don't really know how it works. First time I've ever been in one, but it looks like there's unlimited booze, and people who have been in a lounge before might call me an idiot for not realising that, but unlimited beer, unlimited wine, unlimited spirits. If I wasn't driving later, I could make back my 33 euros like that. Many snacks and coffees and juices and drinks later. I've moved position. I was up on one of the high tables earlier, but kicking back in luxury right now. I think for 33 euros, it's £29. I checked my bank account in pounds, 29 quid. I think it's more than worth it. And it's like the most comfortable airport experience I've ever had. When I came here, it was light. You may be able to see from the big windows behind me, it is now dark. It is now 6:45. My flight's not till 9:45. So after I had my German fish sandwich thing, I just thought I'd come here, relax and do some editing. I'm doing the St. Pauli tour editing right now. I'm just making the most of it. I've got more food here. I've got another cappuccino here. It's my headphones, but also like just things like having so many charging ports around. Danke. I've spent about 5 hours in there. I would definitely recommend a lounge if you've actually got time to spend in an airport. You might as well. You'd probably end up spending 20-30 quid on food and whatever else in an airport anyway. I've made it safely back to Scotland, and what a trip it was to Hamburg. I absolutely loved my few days there covering St Pauli and HSV. The tour, it's not a tour as such, but you can go in the museum, and I did get a look out from one of the stands. You can't go to the changing rooms or pitch side or anything like that on the HSV tour. Although, yeah, it's worth going for the museum alone, and the club shop as well has a great view out to the pitch, as does a cafe. There's a cafe where you can have lunch in there too. Onto the club themselves, an amazing link between them and Rangers, of course, and then great to chat to Roy as well, Scotsman out there working in Germany. Always good to meet media guys from different clubs and see like their backgrounds and stuff. And Hamburg themselves, like absolutely insane really how they've won all those trophies, the vast majority of them from the 70s and 80s, even like their first league title was from the 1920s, so like 100 years ago now, but they've won barely any, if any at all, like major trophies in the last few years. As I may have mentioned once or twice in this and my other HSV video, they hadn't been relegated from the Bundesliga, the only side to have never been relegated until like 5 years ago, and they've not been back since. I think the highest they finished in the Zweite Bundesliga, the championship of Germany, is 4th. And the third place team goes into a playoff to potentially get promoted, but the top 2 definitely get promoted. When I'm filming this today, they are currently 2nd, so I hope that they can get back promoted to the Bundesliga and maybe back to Europe where they probably belong. They're a huge club and they had an amazing fan base when I went to see them play, so hugely impressed by my trip to HSV. If you're from Britain or from anywhere else in the world and you want to go and watch some German football, genuinely one of the best stadiums I could recommend is that one. I have made many German videos before, I've made a lot of Rangers videos before obviously, so if you are a HSV fan, guten Tag, thank you very much for watching this video. I will leave a Rangers video on screen and maybe a different German video as well, plus a playlist and the subscribe button. If you could click once, carry on watching, that would be amazing. Do check out all my Rangers stuff, HSV fans, I'm sure you will love it. Dankeschön and tschüss.